tell you what freedom is to me. No fear.
You know how I feel.
I mean, really, no fear.
You know how I feel.
If I could have that half of my life, no fear.
If I could free them all, you know I would. Take back roads, black masks, black capsules, time capsules, filled with the music we jam to. Might pour it up for the first time like freedom was past due. Just saw him fall, he was running. Oppression lap dude. If we not flatline, we day room. Talking mainline in wreck time. Praying that Jesus don't take mines. I know it's fleeting, can't make time. So in case I'm touching the baseline, every time I'm birthing the deep end, that water waistline now. 10 hours a day, don't need no break time now. I seen bullets sent impact, make body flip, seen life leave, it's likely. Know if he badged up, he might squeeze. Know if I stand up, I might bleed. I hope they protest, no sightseeing. Chalk it out, caution, tape the crime scene, reminding. Hope if I'm haloed, I gave her everything she might need. Planet like seeds, hyphened her last name, no pipe dreams. Showed her my threshold and nice things. The realest nigga I might be. If I could free them all, you know I would. Take back roads, black masks, black capsules, time capsules, filled with the music we jam to. Might pour it up for the first time like freedom was past due. If I could free them all, I would. If I could free them all,
we're gonna do it 4 times in a row, see if we can get it going, alright? I know they watching, ancestors watching. I know they watching, I know they watching. Ancestors watching. I know they watching, I know.
Ready, Jazz?
Ready.
So we are inside HMP Addiewell in Edinburgh, Scotland.
Upstairs.
Alright, this way?
Backstairs.
Backstairs. Yes.
Academy. Anybody
that
see Academy?
Yes.
I think that's us, okay. Don't die.
So we're taking the back stairs up to the academy where the classrooms are for the classes that we're teaching with PEP here at Edinburgh, Scotland. Financial literacy, creative expression, forgiveness and healing, intro to college, the list goes on. So our class, mindfulness inside the Faith Sanctuary. This is our academy wing where we have all our different classrooms actively happening in the space. Really excited to be here. It's our second time. We've been teaching since 2019. We went virtual because of the pandemic, and now we're back in person. Super excited. Amazing facilitators, amazing students, participants, and staff here. Extremely incredible support for all. Really glad to be here.
Job because I have a criminal record, a felony, a murder charge. I may not get that job. What's my plan B? Then I would envision myself already out, already working, already having a wife and a kid and a family. I envision myself traveling. I envision myself being on large stages, talking to thousands of people every single night almost. And I would always say, what if it failed? What am I going to do? What if it failed? What am I going to do? When you do this for almost 16, 17, 18 straight years, I almost ran every single scenario that I would face before I ever came home. So lo and behold, when I went to the board, I had to go in front of a board and why did you do what you do? Why did you kill this person? Why did you do this? You know, why did you get a D in school? You got to tell your whole life. And most times when you go in front of the board where we're from, they deny you the first time. There's guys that have been denied 7, 8, 9, 10 times. My very first time, hit a home run. They found me suitable. Was able to walk out, which is, if you get found suitable in our system the first time, it's like an act of God because they just don't do it. But because I had prepared mentally for it for so long that they saw the work. Then the funny thing happened, I got released. And I started to do everything that I envisioned when I was in that cell for those decades, and it felt like deja vu. I was like, I already did all this stuff before. And so I do a lot of public speaking, right? Just everywhere. And one of the questions that I get is like, what has been the most challenging thing after serving 22 years? And I tell them, honestly, it wasn't that difficult because I've already done it in my mind. You have to see yourself free. You have to see yourself being clean and sober. You have to envision that in your mind. The more that y'all spend time thinking about what that's gonna look like, because we all know the challenges are there. Everything that you know that's designed to get you to fail and to bring you back is waiting right outside the gate. We know that already. We have this time in here while y'all in these cells 23 hours a day to strategize and think about what am I going to do to avoid these pitfalls. The mistake that many people make is that they wait until well, I'm gonna do it when I get out. It's too late. You cannot, because the light switch is not gonna flip on as quickly as you think if you're waiting to do things when you get out. You already have to be practicing these things right now. You say that you want to help people, you want to do what I do. I started doing this inside of prison. You're doing it right now. And what's going to happen is you're going to come home and you're going to be light years ahead of people. It's like, bro, how do you speak so good? How do you make these connections? Because I've been doing it in prison with people that have real trauma, real addiction issues, real suicidal and mental health issues. You are getting firsthand experience of working with populations that the world really struggle with. So you become the expert. And so now people look at me and say, bro, how are you this skilled? Where did you get? I got it in prison. Talking to men, wanting to help men, and just sitting here and being a listener.
So I am in HMP Addiewell here in Edinburgh, Scotland, and I'm really excited because I get to teach a creative expressions class. It's day 2. We already had day 1, and it was great. The students were just so vulnerable so quickly. We talked about finding our identity, because our true identity is the place from which we create our art from. And so just the way that the students were so willing to like dive in, get vulnerable, ask themselves questions to get a better understanding about themselves. They were really able to create real art from a meaningful place, from a therapeutic place. They were able to hold space for one another in the creations of the art. And at the end of like the gains, I do a gains in gratitude moment, and they were really able to just like give not only flowers to themselves for how they showed up, but they were able to give flowers to their fellow classmates when they saw like, hey, this one guy was like, hey, you like never speak, but you got up in front of everyone and you shared, and like that was really incredible. And so they're able to get affirmed and give affirmation to one another.
He is someone who expresses himself, and I just want to make this point. It's important to know he cried like a baby when he made his wedding proposal. Putting all of this out there. And this is beautiful, because without vulnerability, there is no courage.
Every time the guilt show up for me, I do these things. Every time shame shows up for me, I do these things. When hurt and anger shows up, I have a pattern of doing these things.
If you walk around your life bulletproof, that don't take any courage. It takes courage to be vulnerable.
You're able to see your puzzle, which is your life, very clearly and very differently.
He also did 22 years on a 25 to life sentence, and is living proof that we are not the embodiment of our worst mistake, our worst act, our worst experience. He is so much more. And so please put your hands together for my man, James Callie, JC.
There's no way to put together the puzzle if y'all don't take the time to just turn over all of the pieces, which means I have to put it all out there on the table. Am I making sense?
All right, so this right here is the room that I teach my creative expressions class in. It's a beautiful, beautiful art studio, art facility. Like a lot of the stuff around is all stuff that the students have created. So it's really dope to be a part of this. Hey, how are you?
Good, thanks, how are you?
Good to see you. Tarek's gonna just do some filming at the beginning of class. So yeah. And this is the team. This is the Creative Expressions team.
Yeah, pretty much like the Patriots right now, man. We're a dynasty. We just keep on winning, and we all excited to be here. PEP, Prison Education Project.
Yes.
We're trying to get these guys to open up, like she was saying. And art is therapy, and it's really, really important for people who are incarcerated. So I'm just glad that we're here to try to help these guys to open up and to get to know themselves better.
Thank you, man. B, thank you for that warm introduction. Baby, you can tell all our business.
Hey, so yesterday was amazing. I have to give a big shout out to Jasmine, the leader of this course. She is incredible, inspiring. She got everyone to open up immediately, which is no easy task, especially in a different country on day one. Yusuf was equally incredible. He closed out the class. Sharing his story was like a mic drop moment, I feel like. Not only is he an incredible artist, but an incredible speaker, teacher, person. The level of kind of generosity and compassion he brought was so beautiful to witness and felt by everyone here. And we're very lucky to be in this class with Cassie, who is the resident art teacher, and who the men came to this class because of Cassie, right? Because of the space that she's cultivated, the type of humanity that she's had for the men despite their condition, right? That and everyone said, you know, we're here for Cassie, we're showing up for her, and immediately bought in because we had Cassie on our team too. So really, really grateful for this space, this beautiful art room that we're in. I've never quite been in a space like this, and I'm excited for day 2.
So, today is our third day here at the facility, and it's really awesome, again, being able to be here, having conversations with the students, the residents here, about just their culture, learning a lot more about their lived experience, some of the challenges that they're facing, and how, a lot of that also contributes to some of the crime, right, that has led them to be here. And I think just as we're connecting from cultures, different backgrounds, different incarceral systems, realizing that there's still that underlying thread of needing to be seen, and really the need for support and resources when it comes to survival. There's a lot of resources that exist here in Scotland that I don't think we have infrastructure for in the States, and really just comes down to exposure at that point. So while resources may be available, oftentimes there's a lack of education, and I think with the Prison Education Project, we have that opportunity to bring education, to ask the questions, to advocate on their behalf, and then also to empower them with the tools on how to advocate for themselves, how to utilize these resources, but ultimately come up with a mindset that gives them that ability to navigate their circumstances, that navigational capital being very important to their development, and really just to their success overall. So it's not always about, they don't know, they don't have it. There's really walking them through the process to empower them to make use of what's available. And, we see the transformation. I think us realizing the importance of relationship is what makes this experience so transformational overall. So just, again, glad to be a part of it, and really hoping that we get the opportunity to continue to grow with the residents here, with the relationship with our staff. The staff has been incredibly supportive, incredibly helpful, and I just can't wait to see how this continues to unfold.
We had a very engaging class. The students were listening, they contributed to the conversation, they learned about soft skills, they learned about conflict, escalation and de-escalation of conflict. It was a great class, and they learned about communication, and they communicated appropriately with us because of the skills that they were taught in the class. So it was great.
That's the point, right? You don't want to just put it out there. You felt it triggers something in you, but they received it, and they were able to receive it.
We have such a good balance with the team, and it's like a dance. It goes in and out. And you would think that we've been facilitating with each other. These two have been facilitating with each other clearly for years. But the way we just kind of look at each other, and it just goes. It just goes.
I do my college work. And so, I'm serious about this. This is stuff I just to keep myself focused. That was something I wrote down. Yeah. And I thought about it's going to come in handy today. I said, it's going to come up somewhere. Yeah.
Do you still stay in America, or do you stay here?
No, I'm in America. I'm in America. Yeah, I'm just taking a summer course. It's like 5 weeks. I'm online, so I can do it from anywhere right now.
This is my first time out of the country. Yesterday was my liberation day. It's been a year to the day, well, yesterday was a year to the day that I was released from prison after 12 years. And it's just really amazing. And being here in this art class was exceptional, just because, like Ray said, people were opening up in a way that I haven't seen. You know, in prison, I think a lot of people try to kind of like suppress their emotions and put a mask on. And in art, especially visual art, is a real personal thing. And I think a lot of people are real hesitant to express themselves in an artistic way, and then even more hesitant to share afterwards. But yesterday, we got everyone to participate. Everybody was really vulnerable. Everybody drew their feelings, and then did a really good job of standing up, addressing the class, and sharing what they drew. And so we learned a lot about all of the students, and it was just really impactful, and so I'm excited for today.
I was going to say, are you going to be excited to participate in it?
Very keen observer.
I have a firm belief that I can make anyone dance. You've danced before in your life at some point.
I don't know if I have.
No, even after you have like a drink or something, you know, wiggle your shoulders a little bit, nothing.
I'm just shy person, so it's not my thing.
You want to know something that's considered dancing that you do every single day? Walking.
Really?
If you walk to music and you just match the rhythm of the music while you're walking, you're dancing. So you are dancing.
But no one's watching me. People are watching me, but no one.
I think it's, for some individuals, it's difficult when they have someone that don't have lived experience, so just a correctional officer or staff telling them what they think is best. But when you have someone that's like, literally, I've been down probably longer than most of the men in the circle, that it hits differently. And I say, this is one blueprint. You know, this is what I used, and what they can't say, that in the States we hear a lot when volunteers come in, oh, you don't know. You haven't been incarcerated, so how do you know? And they can't really say that with me, you know, and I didn't start off a goody two-shoes inmate when I came in. It took some growing pains at 17. You know, I was mad and angry at the world, convicted of murder. So it took some time for me to grow into the person that I am now, but it started inside.
I got more power because I know a whole bunch of words now in the dictionary. So I know what you're saying to me that I read on this paper. They said I gave this guy contusion and abrasion on his left clavicle. What the heck is that? I didn't know, so I had to look up these words. So all he had was a scrape over his bone. You know, all his flesh over this part right here. But it may seem like it was something real dangerous. So the power of words, the power of knowledge.
The max is 15. So you can go into the parole board if you haven't done a good program. They can say, after you've done 25 years, and say, we don't think you're ready. We'll see you in 15 more. That's a whole nother sentence, you know, and they give those sentences out. So you can get, the low is 3, 7, 10, 12, and 15. Those are the increments, you know, and so here I believe that they said the most they can get is a year.
No, they can get, normally the most we see is 2 years.
It's 2 years.
The foot intended, you put them on the back foot. You need to speak the way that they want you to speak.
And so like Betty was saying, you have to learn to articulate yourself. I had to learn to stop talking with my hands, because I going out of office, I'm just saying, and they go, jumping back, hand moving. You know, but the whole time, I didn't know.
Maya Angelou so beautifully and poetically wrote down why the cage bird sings. But I'm gonna pick up the pieces that she left behind and explain why this cage bird screamed. You see, I screamed because it took only one bad and ill-advised decision to be deemed as a menace to society by public officials. I screamed because no one wanted to listen to this hurt and broken child that was begging and pleading for attention, but all of a sudden, after one bad and ill-advised decision, I got my whole community's attention. I screamed because society's answer to the problem was a cage, a lock, and a key. I screamed because I started to believe all of the hurtful things that the district attorney was saying about me. Things like I was a super predator and that I should never be set free. Fast forward just 1 year later, and I turned 18 and my screams became 10 times louder because my name had been replaced with a number. 10, 46, 186 were the 7 digits that got wrapped around my wrist, and at that moment in my life, nothing at all made any sense. So I crunched the numbers like a mathematician trying to somehow make sense out of this huge, humongous sentence. But no matter how I added it, subtracted it, multiplied it, or divided it, I was still left serving a 25 to life sentence for one bad, ill-advised, and tragic decision. Little did I realize how much that one decision would impact all of my future decisions and push me like a man on a mission to stand in a position to declare to the world that I am more than just my worst decision. We are more than just our worst decision. Until that truth finally resonates within us, we can never break free from our past. Listen, if we want to break free and really spread our wings and soar, you have to be willing to let go. Let go of past hurt, shame, guilt, and pain, and trust that who you are is enough. Who you are is enough. Listen, we cannot expect for others to free us from our cage when we alone are the ones with the key. No matter if you're in here or out there, freedom is a choice, and you have to choose right here, right now, to be free.
If I reach, know I pocket the truth. I wanna know how I got here. Wanna know how I got here, huh? Yelling, screaming, Willie beaming. The path was scenic, mama was fiending, daddy was fiending, I seen it, huh? While my past keep creeping up, many reasons, old wounds, I ain't stitched them up. Hope Papa know he John the Baptist to Jesus, so it's the word for my people. George Jackson with the teachings, huh? Long locks, peep the features. Hi Delilah, I see you. I know I'm rich, I won't gamble on my soulmate. Salt on the ground, that's for snowflakes. If I don't know you, then no Colgate. Don't give a fuck if you take it personal, I'm probably coping. Eyes open, I'm focused, huh? I wanna know how I got here. Wanna know how I got here, huh? Yelling, screaming. I said I dealing with much, but my head hot. Keep that head hot, boy. I think I know how I got here. I think I know how I got here, huh? Pop out, them niggas popped out. Kept squeezing till he tapped out. Was way too young to see them packs out. Nana copping, that's the back house. Them pigeons flying, that's the trap route. Them cops pull up, they pack out. And it's been all up on my mental. Hiding under that beret. Emotion, what can I say? She know me, she know the way, she know these allegors. Don't mean I wish that I had more. Don't mean I wish I ain't seen shit. If they don't know, then they know by now. They might not like me, but they love my style. They gon' respect me or I'm gon' bite down. Won't let go, that's blue nose. Billie Holiday, these blue notes. No strange fruit, I know my roots though. Been underground since I was hooping at them JUCOs. It would've been different if Trayvon had on the suit coating. Well, maybe not. Ain't that the bird in the black suit? It's different here, and we still living in that past tense. Here go my wish though. Wish it was different here. I wanna know how I got here. Wanna know how I got here, huh? Yelling, screaming. I said I dealing with much, but my head hot. Keep that head hot, boy. I think I know how I got here. I think I know how I got here, huh?
Head north on Angela Davis towards Nina Simone.
Yeah, I was talking underground like that. Like on my path towards freedom, on that journey towards freedom.
Right.
And I think about my moments. For me, my moment wasn't.
And suddenly I just had a panic attack. Because, you know, I'd never been incarcerated before, and I just felt like I had to get out. But I knew I couldn't.
And it's okay to feel all those things, but how you address those feelings and whether you react on them or you respond to them is a critical difference, and it can make a big impact on how you address a situation.
I'm teaching Introduction to College and Building Healthy Relationships. My experience here, I mean, just from day one, every single person in our class has been so open and so vulnerable and so kind to each other. And I think that I wasn't ready for that. I thought it was going to take some time, but really, like, we've just been able to jump right in, and everyone has been so engaged and, you know, appreciating what each other has to say. And I feel like I'm learning so much more from them than me here as like the one who's supposed to be teaching.
So far, just coming to Scotland has been just an amazing experience, and especially here at Addiewell, the staff have been just so amenable. They've just really catered to our every need, and which is, you know, coming from America is pretty radically different, and it's just been really mind-blowing. And I think the students have just been so incredibly open and vulnerable and just really, really intensely engaged. And, you know, Kenny's story that he shared, you know, from his time in incarceration to when he got out really resonated with so many of the guys, and just seeing, I think, that connection between his story and their story transcending, you know, 5,000 miles and different cultures, it's been like a huge impact on me.
Well, I've been doing prison work for the past 8 years now, and I would definitely say that I've seen a shift in who I've become by doing this work. I think that there are a lot of really simple, basic things that we take for granted by having our freedom, and working with incarcerated students, it really challenges your perspective. It really shifts your perspective. It makes you aware of just certain biases that you may have, and it really makes you even challenge your own ideologies. For me, it's been super transformative being able to come in and especially teach arts courses with my students. Really, like, hey. We're partying. Coming in and being able to teach arts courses to my students has been super transformative, because we're able to get really vulnerable, get really intimate, get really in touch with ourselves and our identities, and it creates a really safe space where their emotions are valid, where their feelings are valid, and it's a constructive place to really express those things. So it's been a blessing to have the privilege to come in and work with the students. And I always say, like, I learn so much every time I come in, just about a lot of the things that maybe I take for granted. And at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and it's just great to be here.
It's an amazing experience for me. I didn't know what to expect coming in, you know, being in this homogenous society as an African-American male. And unexpectedly, it was warm and embracing. It was emotional in the sense to see how much of an effect that my life experience has had on people, you know, in the global sense, international sense. This is something that I could never have imagined. And just being able to converse and sit in the space, coming inside of prison after serving 15 years was kind of, you know, nerve-wracking. You know, to be able to come in and leave the same day was something I never could imagine happening in my lifetime. And so it's just great. You know, the guys are real warm. The interview on the radio was something that I never thought would happen either, not sitting inside of a prison anyway. And so, you know, I've been here teaching soft skills and allowing the guys to see that, you know, transformation is possible. You know, education is liberation is the PEP motto, and so it's liberating. You know, it's just been, I've been out 2 years. I was on parole for 8 months, and so within this last 12, 13 months, I've been on the journey, and this is the highest point of my journey thus far.
Classrooms to be like a safe space to kind of let their guard down. And I know that's hard to do in a place like this. You know, you're not at home, you're not in like your domain of like comfort. So for you all to be able to do that in this space is just so courageous. So I've been just very inspired by all of you. So I appreciate how you each have continued to show up. Yeah.
Slightly nervous man. Kind of dotting around. Today you have come here as a leader. You have come here with the body language and the articulation of a leader. And it is lovely to see the growth in you in 4 years. And I'm sure it'll keep going.
I appreciate that.
Okay, I'm sure it'll keep going. Because I do remember you in 2019. And this time you have walked in with, you own the room, you own the corridor, you own the space. It's now, I'm confident. I know what it's all about here, I can be me. And I can see the leader kind of blossoming in you. It's lovely to see.
That's powerful. That's powerful. I think just as we continue to grow, I think naturally one of the things that we hone in on, I say this in the mindfulness class, is really equipping individuals with the tools they need to improve in their own lives. And I think, when we talk about some of the facilities in the States, it's always about the skills, the vocational skills, the trades. But it feels as though here there is really a focus on prioritizing everyone's well-being. This emotional element, the mental element, this interaction, the soft skills, and I think for me as a person, that's something I value in the spaces I step into, is how can I reach the individual before I reach, the student, or before I reach the whatever, right? It's always about how can I connect to the person, and I think that that's something that will always be with me in the way that I approach things, and that's why I really enjoy the work that we do with PEP. And again, coming here to Addiewell is the fact that even when we talk about financial literacy or soft skills or creative expression or all the classes we're offering, it feels as though everyone's having these breakthrough moments that are going to resonate beyond the classroom. Because we can come in and just teach, numbers, and you walk away just knowing numbers, but to walk away with something that resonates, knows that there's a level of impact there. And I think we feel that exchange, it's that synergy that we are building and crafting together that makes it meaningful, and I think that that's where, I go back home and I remember these moments, when I find myself discouraged or distracted. It's like, what were we doing in the class again? We were breathing? Okay, what's my color? How can I be more mindful? It's an exchange while, again, while we're sharing, we're also receiving. And that's why, I even refer to us as facilitators. Not teachers, but facilitators, because we're just facilitating a space that we're all benefiting from. And I think it's that collaborative process that really means the most. So yeah, again, I just really thank you all for your feedback, for your presence, and just your overall engagement, because it really does make a difference. It really does. I'll be talking about this experience until I return. For sure.
Way back when we was 7 to 7 on them 4 wheels since way back then. Couple steps from that corner store, juice with them bobs with no corner boys. Might have been Q with no Bishop. I love him, but that ain't my nigga. That pride, that ego could turn a hero to a villain. Go figure, since 9-6, the doubt's been reasonable. Middle finger to my foes, still living on lessons learned on back roads. Still in the field, that's that frontline lessons inside that barbed wire, like way back when we was 7 to 7 on them 4 wheels since way back then. Now look at what my mind done did. Sponsored those trips, a couple plane rides, across them seas. I just hit them prisons, boy, that's contact. Still screaming free them all and all that. Our mind, our soul, we want it all back. Like, and what? Messages read, Got fed up, got so vehicular, I sped up, I just made a right on that turnpike. I can't help to think about Asada. Freedom is always on my conscience. Lately been thinking about that dollar, that fake power. Don't give a fuck about no diamonds. Without a penny, I'm a problem. I oughta be closed lip about those should've been Tubmans, the house, the fortunes. I know what they did back in Tulsa, like way back when. I'm talking we was 7 to 7 on them 4 wheels since way back then. Nothing's the same, man, but still the same, man. In 22 they was dangerous, in 92 too, in 2022. Oh my, I knew they was shameless, naked in that got noose, medallion, that body swinging, black in its back got bruised. The war, who calling truce? Just hit my troops. They lacing boots up, might even tool up, then sing too much. I'm talking way too much.
This piece is entitled Where I Live. I live in a world where most people are too afraid to go. Surrounded by
tall concrete walls, steel bars where razor wires seem to have a way of cutting away at the hopes for a brighter tomorrow. I live in a world that kill people who kill people in order to teach people that killing people is wrong. Imagine that. Better yet, imagine a world where healed people helped hurt people heal and become whole. Then maybe we would all be singing redemption song. I live in a world that has been referred to as hell on earth by those trapped inside it. But I've come to the stark realization that prison is what you make it. In spite of the harshness of my reality, there was a silver lining, because I knew my freedom was gonna come. It was just a matter of time. And so I treated my first step like it was my last mile, and I realized that you don't have to be free in order to experience freedom. And just because you're free doesn't mean that you have freedom. Many of us for years have been fighting our inner demons, walk around smiling when inside we're really screaming, freedom! Don't you get it? We're all serving time, we're just in different places. For me, I choose to be free from the prisons I've created. My key, forgiveness. My witness, my actions. The key to forgiveness is you gotta think different. Because freedom, it isn't a place, it's a mind setting. Thank you.